That's kind of serious. I'm gonna calm. I remember the other day actually in social studies class, our teacher asked, class, what does America mean to you? Okay, she didn't ask this. I kind of waved my hand. I don't know, we got in a discussion, but we did. And everyone kind of looked at me because I'm Mr. Patriotic, you know. Navy, hoorah, Marine Corps, Oil Corps, your Corps, Marine Corps kind of guy. And it was kind of a somber moment because I don't know my emotions too much, but let me explain. My country means a lot more than most people might think. It's not just a home. It's not just something that taxes me once a month. It's not that. It's something more. I don't feel love for my country. I feel a deal of respect. My country has kept me safe. For the past several odd years of my life, I have lived in freedom. I've had some hard times, and so has my country. You know, I've had some problems, so has my country. I mean, you know, I've made some mistakes, so has America. I mean, the War of 1812, that was totally unjustified. Vietnam was justified, though. It's just, if you look at it like this, sure, we're not a perfect country by any means. Crime, drug use, racism is rampant, but we're doing our best, and that's the point. Minus the racism part. We have to get rid of that. I'm serious. We did not fight a civil war, then have a civil rights movement, so people can write the N-word in your house because they don't like you. But back to the sombering point of the matter. My nation means more to me than I can put by words. It's my home, my love almost. And now I'm kind of crying a little bit because it's just tough. It's a great place to live. And men have died for the last almost 300 years. There have been soldiers who have fought for our freedom to keep this nation ours. I mean, from the men at Bunker Hill, to the men of Wake Island, to the men of the Alamo, to the men of Fallujah, to, you know, we'll fight them in the streets, we'll fight them in the fields, we'll fight them on the beaches. We will never give up, we will never surrender. That's a Winston Churchill quote. That makes no sense because that was about Britain, but who cares? It's my country, and I feel something in my heart for it. Not the love you'd have for a pet, not the love you'd have for even a girlfriend. It's the love for something more. Family. A bond with my nation. And I feel like when people take that for granted a lot, they think, oh, an example, recently in Boston, the marathon bomber trials going on. That guy was getting food stamps and stuff from the government. And, you know, I think some other stuff, sort of. He was getting help from our government, and he didn't care. He still thought that we were, wrongdoing country because we have some of our fingers in the Middle East. But it's kind of like this. Thomas Jefferson, he started isolationism. He once said, the affairs of Europe are not the affairs of America. Because America is here, and Europe is here. And there's a big ocean in between us. But it's not like that. You can't be an isolated country forever. I mean, the African tribes did that in the 1800s. You know what happened? You had guys with spears charging guys with machine guns. It didn't end well for them, believe me. It wouldn't end well for us. But you can't be completely involved in world affairs. It's another problem. An example, if you have your fingers in every pie, then it will not be sweet. And you will soil each pie. And it will not be good. Not that it matters, because I hate pie. You have to somewhere be in between. I was reading a fan fiction the other day. I remember the name. It's from Panzer 1. It's really good, though. I don't remember the name. And one character describes discipline is like butter. And a school is like toast. If you put too much butter on the toast, too much discipline in the school, it would not taste good, and it will be too strict. If you put too little, and it will be too lax, and the toast will be too dry. You must put just the right amount. And this is true with, our foreign policy. It has to have just the right amount. You can't be completely involved, and you can't be not involved at all. Humanitarian aid, for instance, and this is another problem I have with this, we have also some bad stuff happening in the world. In our country, we really can't do much. And the world can't do much either. I mean, the UN, they meet twice a year. And have you seen how people starving in Africa? In my mind, what we need to do is start an organization within the UN that has the right to freely act on its own. It'd be made up of humane workers, doctors, soldiers. They have free reign to act on their own, go to hot spots, bring order. An example of this, and sometimes it's not the best, and you can't be democratic all the time. There's a town in the Philippines, for instance, and it was called the murder capital of the Philippines, had the highest murders everywhere. You know what the mayor did? He went and killed all the drug dealers and everyone, all the scum, and it's now the cleanest city in the country. He's been called, like, the Punisher by Time Magazine. And, that's just how it is. You can do that, and you'll have a great city, but it'll be run by fear. And who else ruled by fear? The Nazis. The communists. People like that. That's the idea of my country, though. My country just means a lot to me. I have to thank it, Thank you, America. You might not be the greatest country on the planet, I'm sorry, but that goes to Norway. They have a much better economy, and they're not in, 2 wars at the moment, and they have, no crime. But you may not be the best, but you're my home, and I love you nonetheless, and I would defend you to my dying breath. Francis Scott Key was a great man. In 1814, when the British attacked Washington, Keyes watched as they bombarded a fort guarding the harbor. He says throughout the night he could hear gunfire and, rockets, which were flares that they shoot up in illumination. And he could hear cannons fire and men screaming and dying. Throughout the night he prayed and prayed that America would prevail and that we would not lose our capital. And as the sun rose that day at dawn, he was given the great sight of seeing the American flag in all its glory, still fluttering. He ended up writing a poem about this that became the national anthem. By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed, at the twilight's last gleaming, and through bright stripes and bright stars, and the perilous fight, through the ramparts we watched, they were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, and the bombs bursting in air, they gave truth through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free, and the home of the brave. That's the national anthem, in a nutshell. It was written about a battle. And America's fought many battles, and we will probably fight many more. But that's okay. We might not seem like it, and I know a lot of people don't like us, but we try. And sometimes we get things right. And I love my nation nonetheless. You can talk about how bad we are in politics. You can say, oh, we're a horrible nation. But we mean well. And that's what counts. Trying to do the best and help others.